apologize. We do have time for one more of your joint committee.
Oh, all
Can we
right.
do that before the lunch
Sure.
break? I appreciate it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Chair Eisen. Will the meeting of the Joint Committees on Educational Policy and Finance please come to order? We have two requests for public comment. Will Rocky Sanchez and Mike Chavez of CSUEU please come to the microphone? Each will have 3 minutes to address the board.
Good morning, or should I say good afternoon. Chancellor White, Board of Trustees, campus presidents, and visitors. I am Rocky Sanchez, CSUEU Vice President for Representation, and I am a 25-year employee at Cal Poly Pomona. And I am here because the Committee on Collective Bargaining was a closed session, and well, guess what? You are going to hear from CSUEU today. I'm here to address the Joint Committees on Educational Policy and Finance on your 2016 System-Wide Hate, Violence Report and the issue of civility in the workplace. Chancellor White, after you were first hired and visiting the different campuses, I asked you about bullying and what could be done about it. Your response was to recommend a book, like a book would solve a problem for an employee when they are under attack. In the last contract negotiations, which was back in 2014, we tried for an article on bullying or workplace violence, because that's what I refer to, bullying and incivility as workplace violence. And we were told there would be a system-wide policy. Well, where is it? We are currently in bargaining, and one of the articles we gave across the table was an article on civility. And apparently you gave the CSU bargaining team the green light to reject this. Remember, the last contract cycle, 2014, a system-wide policy was supposed to be in the making. So now we decided, CSUEU, that there needs to be an article on civility to take care of our people, since this group has no intentions to do so. We are not only entitled to a safe and secure work environment, but a work environment that is free from abusive conduct and harassment. A work environment that we are not fearful that we will be yelled at, which is verbal violence, or targeted. You have not only rejected civility in the workplace, but the preamble that we gave across the table that addresses issues such as civility, along with working in a healthy environment and the belief in transparency and fairness. Apparently, this does not apply to CSUEU rank and file. Over the years, I have heard this board give lip service about how wonderful staff are and how they enrich the CSU system. So if we are so wonderful, why don't you want us to work in an environment that is safe from abusive contact? Why don't you want us to work in an environment that we won't be harassed and targeted? Apparently, this board turns a blind eye when it comes to the wonderful staff being harassed and targeted. That it's okay to treat staff as if we are less than the rest of the stakeholders of CSU.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Trustees, campus presidents, fellow union brothers and sisters, and guests. My name is Michael Chavez. I'm here as the CSUEU Chair of Unit 5. I'm a lead grounds worker and an 18-year employee of Stanislaus State. I'm here now because we, the CSU, have no open session. I'm here to address the Joint Committee on Educational Policy and Finance on your 2016 System-Wide Hate and Violence Report at the issue of civility, and also the issue of civility and on the workplace. Our last full contract bargaining of 2014, we tried to address the bullying and harassment civility in the contract. The Chancellor's office had us believe that the CO was going to address this issue at the system-wide level. Little did we know that this was death by committee, a rich academic tradition. So here we are now. We, the CSU EU had proposed a civility article that addressed having a workplace where employees are able to work in a safe, courteous, and harmonious environment by maintaining civility and mutual respect, only to be flat out rejected. We also proposed a preamble at the start of negotiations with the hopes of establishing a harmonious and cooperative labor relationships and a strong university workforce where all members of the campus community are respected and valued. This too was also flat out rejected. The CSU is the nation's largest, most affordable, and most diverse public four-year university. Yet this board chooses not to address civility or harmonious and cooperative labor relationships, either in the contract or even at the system-wide level. Yet there are multiple notable universities that have addressed civility and mutual respect on their respective campuses, such as Northwestern, Ohio State, Oregon State, Vanderbilt, University of New Mexico, University of Iowa, Columbia University, University of Colorado, Johns Hopkins, University of Virginia, UConn, and some of the UCs here in California. They have respected and valued all its employees enough to address the civility issues on their campuses. CSU has over 50,000 employees under its wing. This board owes its family of over 50,000 the respect and the value to its family. The CSU should be a leader of these issues and not be at the back of the pack. We are worth more than the board has offered. We deserve better. We demand better. We hold this board accountable for not being a leader. We are much better than this, we were once told by the chancellor. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. It is now time for the committee to consider today's consent agenda. Would any committee member wish to remove any of the items for separate discussion? May I have a motion to approve all the items listed on the consent agenda?
Move it.
Second. The items listed on the consent agenda are approved. Chair Eisen, that concludes the business of the Joint Committees on Educational Policy and Finance.
All right. Time for our lunch break. See you back at 12:45.